Hi, it's Stewart A. Swerdlow.
And Diane Mourglia-Swerdlow.
For expansions.com, it's our podcast for the middle of October 2011. And we're back at Kitty Hill Farms.
So we're excited to see what Cindy's been up to because we've been following her through the season, starting in spring, a couple times visiting in the summertime. And let's go find out where Cindy is and what she's up to.
Hi guys, how are ya?
Good, how are you?
Looks a little different out here, huh?
Wow, just a little
But with
bit.
the sun today, it looks like spring again.
Well, except for pumpkins. That's a little
Well,
bit.
pumpkins gives it away a little bit, doesn't it? Pumpkins and Indian
Got
corn.
a gourd there, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I see you made a picture of Stewart on that pumpkin.
Oh, I thought that was Stewart.
No, there's Janet back
There's
there.
Janet, look at her!
There I am.
She's a
She's lost a
star.
lot of weight.
That's right, I'll have to eat more
Your legs are getting rather thin over
Right, eat
there.
more veggies.
It's all that good food.
Looks like she's ahead of herself.
Oh no, that was really good there, dear.
What beautiful things you have here. All kinds of squashes. And
Yes, and that one there is a new one with the pink and the green. That's in the buttercup family.
This one here.
Yep.
Oh, I'll have to try
The
one of
buttercups,
those.
the ones that you like.
Absolutely. Well,
They're
here,
very tasty.
I'll just grab that one and we'll
It
put
has
it.
your name on
It
it.
has my name on it. I'll put
Can
it
you
with,
eat the skin
I'll
on
put it
that
with
one
my
if it's
head.
cooked properly?
You probably could.
I'll take that one with me when I go because I'm going to try it. Maybe I'll show them how to do it.
Yeah, that would be wonderful because those buttercup have become real popular
Those are
now
fabulous.
since everyone's tried them.
What kind is
That's
this?
an apple gourd.
Wow.
Does it not look just like an apple gourd?
So that's for decoration. purposes.
Decoration only, and it dries out, and then sometimes people will paint them like an apple, you know, because they dry and then they keep.
It's beautiful.
Yep, they do. And in Mexico, often they make instruments out of the gourds,
Oh, yes.
True.
which
Maracas.
is really interesting. Yep, maracas, and even sometimes they'll string them and make different musical instruments out of, even like the bigger gourds and stuff.
Wow, amazing.
So there's a use for everything.
Is this the original color, would you say, of corn before it's yellow?
Yes, the dark purples and deep red colors were what everyone used. And I guess, you know, I don't know if it was someone's idea in their head to say that corn should be yellow. I mean, it's like all the tomatoes, you know, everyone's like, the tomatoes have changed so much.
Right.
All the vegetables have.
All right, but you
Everything used to be deep, dark colored, and now everything's changed.
Right. You told me you're going to do a little research, so you'll find out maybe and see if you can find out if this was actually eaten at one time and let me know. And then I'll pass that information on to our readers as well because I think a lot of interesting history is there maybe that
Yes, that would be really
uncovered.
nice to know, and I would like to find it out myself, so it prompts me to go over. I'll go over to the Mexican store, and there's some ladies that cook in the back, and I think they'd be the ideal ones to
Fabulous. Okay, well I'm going to be excited for that information. So show us what else is going on here.
All right, let's go over here. Well, I'm getting ready to dig those last of the red potatoes that you've been wanting.
Yes.
So we'll have those. We can peek at a few of those and see how they're doing in the ground. And
Okay.
you haven't seen them actually come right out of the ground,
I
and they're
have
so
not.
pretty. The color is almost like an iridescent pinky red color.
Well, I have been enjoying those. Those are fabulous. Those, your purple ones.
Take a deep whiff.
Oh, I can smell
Grapes.
Oh,
them.
yes.
Nice.
Yeah, the grape
Nice.
orchard smells so good. They just started
smell.
picking back there.
Have you been stomping to make wine?
I have.
Yeah.
Just
I
like
your feet were all
Lucille Ball.
purple. Yeah.
Your hands are turning pink from this
Yeah,
from
they're,
the stomping.
you know, they're stained. I'm going to keep them
What have you been
undercover.
burning here?
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, I see bones. People have been
just
missing.
paper products. You get so many boxes and stuff out here. I just as soon see them get burned when it's, you know, nothing that's going to hurt anything. And then down here is where we have the potatoes. The green beans are trying.
Okay.
As you see, all these piles of cloth you see here, that's frost cloth.
Did you get any damage from that last frost?
Oh, certainly. I'll show you up there. Well, on Sunday morning, we didn't have just frost. We had a pretty good freeze.
Good
It
ice.
was 28 degrees Sunday morning when I got up. The car was iced over. All this stuff was under wraps. It looked like I had huge beds in my garden, but, you know, it saved them from completely dying back. I think they're going to be okay as far as producing a little because they do have the flowers on them, so I think I'll still get some, not like you would normally, but saved them enough for a little. But yeah, you'll see it up there on like any of the vine crops, the melons and everything were completely gone.
Oh.
Too cold for them.
Yeah. Well, that's what
And
it
then the
is.
basil, of course, it's completely gone really quick because basil is very sensitive. Let's go over to this big guy right here.
Now, these are the red
These are the red potatoes. And this is our second crop, which usually on a normal year would be huge by now, but this has been such an unusual year. You can see the little babies that are there.
Oh, those are my favorite. I love them all.
Can you eat the tops of the potato plant?
No, that's a nightshade family, and so the plant itself should not be eaten.
Okay.
So you don't even give that to your chickens?
I don't even give that to my chickens.
Okay.
Oh.
Look at those.
Oh, wow. Yeah, those are good.
Aren't those a beautiful
Yeah.
color, though, when they first come out? Look
Yes.
at that iridescent,
Wow.
almost like a pink.
Yeah, and I have cut those open in our podcast before, and they see it's actually red inside.
Yes, and it looks like a beet or something.
Yes.
It doesn't look like it would be a potato.
That's
but the
right.
antioxidants are wonderful in them, as are the lower carbs.
Yes, and also in the store, you know, you buy a red skin potato, which is more red. As you said, this is really more pink. And the red skins are white inside, whereas these are
Right.
still red inside.
And much healthier for you.
Yeah, these are fabulous.
But isn't that a way to dig?
Incredible.
So they're not attached to anything when you pull the
Well,
plant out.
normally on a normal year, they would be more attached to that plant. So when you would pull it, you'd pull up a lot of the potatoes would still be stuck, and you could just tear them off of there. But this has been it has been an odd year weather-wise. So
Now, will you plant these in the spring, or do you leave some in the ground and they come back again?
no, I plant them in the spring.
You do,
It's
yeah.
my first crop I plant is
All right.
potatoes.
So you have to cut these, or do you get a seed?
I just get, there's an organic place from Oregon, and I just buy like 100-pound bags of the potatoes like this. Some people will cut them. I don't, because I think you run the risk of that molding
That
because
makes
you've
sense,
compromised it. So I
Yes.
just plant the whole potato because I'd rather be safe
All right,
than to say, okay, I wait that,
right.
60 days and not have a good crop.
Okay, and then the other thing is, now you're all out of purple potatoes, I
Yep.
understand, correct? Because those are also wonderful. So next year I want more purple potatoes too, okay?
Yep, great. I got you guys convinced on those because for a while you
Yeah.
guys didn't want to eat any of the potatoes, so we
No,
were
we-
low back on them. So yeah, the purples and the reds.
They're both, yeah, we love these. They're just fabulous. And
And finally, other people are listening, obviously,
Yeah.
because they were gone like hotcakes this year.
yeah. I want to get some more of those on my list too before I go today.
So people must be watching your podcast.
I think so.
I'm sure they are because
They
I've
are.
had lots of feedback. I've even had family send me a little notes. Aunt Cindy, I saw you on the tube. I was like, oh, geez.
You're getting famous.
Yep. So I was like, okay, well, that's kind of good when family calls you back and says that.
Absolutely.
And we can walk up there and see the sweet potatoes also.
Oh, great.
Fabulous, yeah. My grandfather used to be famous for his sweet potatoes. People used to come from all over for his.
Well, you guys are from the south, right?
Well, Missouri is where my family
Well,
was
okay.
from, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, sweet potatoes, good sweet potatoes.
Yes, but yours
It's
are
really
fabulous.
hard to find really good sweet potatoes
Yes.
anymore. You get those really light orange ones, and we grow those too, but those deep red sweet potatoes, watch the tree.
Yeah,
What is that growing on?
that red.
Oh, that's actually a system to put onto, you put the stuff on it that's sticky.
Oh.
It looks like an apple,
Oh, but it's
so the
not.
bugs are attracted to it, and you put the sticky stuff on it so that the bugs go to that as opposed to going to like your peaches or apples.
Oh, excellent.
That's
It's a
smart.
little trap.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And the other thing that you were telling me about the market one day is you actually go out into your fruit trees and you put socks and things over
Yes, if you put a stocking over each apple, which seems so absurd to some people, but it's like this. It's so hard. We got a little pathway here. It is so hard to grow apples organically in Michigan. And by the time the apples start and the time that you should be spraying things on them to help, I am so busy that if I put the little nylon stockings over them, it helps keep the bugs and the scab type things off the apples.
Right, now I would assume that's pretty time consuming.
It is time consuming, but if I do it the one time, then when
you're
it
done.
comes time to spray and stuff, I don't have to do that as often.
Right,
So it does, in the long run, cut back on some of that time.
right. Well, that's one thing too about organics these days. I think people sometimes will see the price and they don't exactly understand why it might be a little bit more. But when we
It's the time.
understand, yes, that you're putting more
Exactly.
time and your effort, and of course, obviously, you have to follow things a lot more. And of course, then on top of all of that, this next thing I think people need to understand is when they're eating whole food, they don't eat so much.
Exactly.
So even
it's
though,
more filling.
yes, they may pay a little bit more up front for it, First of all, there's more time involved. Second of all, their bodies are not going to require it because it has more nutrients and the body is actually full.
Exactly.
And satiated versus always looking for something.
Yeah, and people don't understand that. Yeah. Like even in weight loss and stuff, they don't understand the good food is what you really need so that your body's not craving. Yes. It's not want.
Right, your stomach can be full, but if it's full of the incorrect foods, your cells are still craving.
Exactly.
And so it's still wanting more and more and more. It's not getting it.
And it's not, and on the traditional foods, you're not getting those nutrients that you need.
And that's the difference. So I want people to remember this as we're walking through things with Cindy and seeing that she's paying attention to the soil. You know, she's paying attention to how she's feeding that plant so that plant can better nurture and feed your body.
And it's a lot of that is the energy put into it. I mean, you know, plants are living creatures. It's like I had a person out here one day and they fired up cigarettes in my garden and I had a fit. And the lady looked at me and I said, "You can't smoke in my garden."
Yeah.
And she said, "I can't smoke in the garden?" I said, "No." And I said, for two reasons. First off, my plants are living and breathing. I said, most often, I don't want to breathe it. But I said, secondly, I don't want my plants to breathe it. And also, tomatoes get what's called a tobacco mosaic virus.
Oh, not that I didn't
and it
know.
will come from cigarette smoke. So, I mean, if you had like someone working in your greenhouse or something and smoking, your plants wouldn't be healthy.
And again, like
it makes sense. It's a living creature. You know, people don't pay attention to the fact that those plants are living and producing.
Absolutely.
So if you don't treat them as if they're a living thing, they're not going to give back to you the same.
That's true.
That's how I feel.
I agree.
So that energy is all of it.
Absolutely. And that's, again, just because it's organic doesn't mean it's organic. That's why it's so important. And we're so lucky to know you as our grower, so we know what's going into our food that we're ingesting.
Yeah,
so we're very fortunate.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And we, at one point, my husband tried a new product that was listed as organic, but it was OMR, certified organic product. My husband started to spray it, and I made him stop. And I said, "Don't spray that." And he goes, "Cindy, it's listed as a..." I said, "I don't care. I don't like the smell." It had a petroleum product in it.
That's interesting.
But I could smell it with my nose. And so to me, I guess I go by gut instinct.
Sure.
I'm like, okay, that's something that is listed as organic. I'm not touching it.
Right. And
I just feel that way. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go with my gut instinct. It tells me no. Yeah. So I said, I don't care if it's supposed to take care of things. I'll do it a different route because I really did not appreciate what it smelled like.
I've said the same thing with certain food products that have been put out on the market. Do this, do that. And I just can't get myself to do it. It's something about
Follow your gut.
That's right. Something about it isn't correct. Leave it alone. So good
your
advice.
Gut instincts sometimes are where you should go.
Yeah, good advice.
Definitely.
All right, what else have you got going on out here? We're going
well,
to sweet
I
potatoes.
got Napoleon, who's my farm hand here, and he's pulling up the plastics and stuff that are down to keep the weeds out of the way. But this is a sweet potato plant, and as you can see, they vine like crazy. But see all the browning on there? That's what happened in the freeze.
I see.
It froze out all the vegetation above ground.
Yeah. So does that mean you lost the sweet potatoes, or they just stopped growing?
No, it's just they won't grow much anymore. So these might be smaller ones here, but this, since they're under the ground, they won't be ruined. And they're interesting to dig because sometimes they're off into weird spots. And these guys are just being goofy. They're all knotted together. They must have been cold in the ground.
They were hiding.
They're hibernating all together. Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Interesting. Just for the show, I wanted to be unique.
Yeah, it's going to show us. Let's see if we can find a bigger one down here, a bigger pile of them. These guys. This is the biggest row of them here. I don't know if I can see where the end of it is. Here we go.
And they actually start to pop up through the ground as they get ripe?
Yep.
Or mature, I guess.
Yep, they come up as they're growing in size. And if you were to just leave these, I did one year, I left them, and the vines will go out, but it takes away some of the energy from the original ones, and they'll make other smaller spots. But it's not really the most idealist.
Yeah, those are gorgeous.
And as you can see, you kind of have to be away from it because you never know where one's coming, and you split lots of them.
Yeah, wow. Those are good-looking sweet potatoes. Maybe I'll add that to my list of things to take home with me. Those are beautiful.
Little dirt there.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, that's
I'll have to do a podcast on
That's how sweet potatoes come out.
Yeah, so they can see what to do that's easy. And they're so nutritious, full of vitamin A. When you eat this peel, a lot of people don't realize you can eat the peel.
Oh, the peel's the best part. Those most nutrients are near that. So that's a great way to do it. I love sweet potato fries. Yes, so I put them in the oven. I like to shred them and make like potato pancakes out of them.
We've done a variety of things too, so they're really easy.
They're just so good for you.
They are. They're wonderful. All right,
and the color is great.
Okay, what else have you got?
An amazing process. Would you guys like to go to the woods and see the mushrooms?
Yeah, is that what you tell everybody?
Let's go to the woods.
Yeah, I want to see your mushrooms.
Let's all go down into the forest. There's a tree that came down, so we might have to climb a little bit, but it won't be too bad. But I'm curious to see too, because I had little button mushrooms the other day, and I went down and watered because it was pretty dry down there. And so I'm curious to see what level of them we have.
So will you have mushrooms all year round, or will?
No, they'll stop. They don't like the winter.
They don't. All right. So
they go dormant in the winter, like most things. They have this year they were really kind of different. I think it was the weather that did a lot of it. So I think because it cooled off and we got some moisture is why they spurted this growth.
I noticed the local newspaper did a really nice piece on you for your mushroom growing.
Yes, they did. And what my favorite part of that wasn't the fact of getting the name out there. That's always great. But one of my favorite parts was it let everyone know how healthy they were. She did a wonderful job of researching it.
She did.
And shiitake mushrooms have amazing health benefits in them. They have a lot of anti-cancer things. Yeah, when grown in their natural state.
As you do.
And the only thing about growing them in the unnatural state, they're still healthy. But growing them in the natural state is like 30% healthier. More. So,
now would you dry some of yours for the winter use?
Yes, I'll dry them for my winter use if I have them left. That's what I end up doing is I sell out too much and then I don't have them for myself. So I'm getting a little bit better at that.
Yes, take care of you.
Yep, you gotta have your own stuff. So
that's right.
But they're nice dry. You can also freeze them.
Oh, now that I didn't know.
Yep, you can take and wash them, let them dry, powder them in a little flour and freeze them that way. But I kind of like the drying of them best.
You put them in a food dehydrator?
No, I just leave them out.
Oh, you just leave them out?
I just leave them out to dry. Oh, look, guys. Yay, mushrooms.
They're coming out to greet us.
Yes, there pops out there. Lots of goodies over here. Oh, yay. Now I get to come down and pick mushrooms.
All right.
Look at all these goodies.
Oh, my goodness. Well, this is the most we've seen yet. We've visited you a couple of times, but never so many.
Oh, my goodness sakes. Look at this. This is the perfect mushroom.
Look at that one.
Wow.
They're a little hard to pull off, but is that not the most perfect looking mushroom?
That's beautiful. It's like,
look at the bottom and everything.
The butter in the frying pan.
That's right. Isn't that wonderful?
And these are shiitake?
These are shiitakes.
Okay. All of them.
And shiitake in Japanese is eater of oak. However, we didn't have enough oak trees, so this is a little bit of an experiment here of doing them in different wood. But they've still been doing really well. They still have the right nutrition levels and stuff. My nephew said he just didn't know how well they would produce.
What kind of wood is this, or do you know? It's just a variety?
That right there is beech. And then there's different ones and I'm not very good with my trees.
But technically
that's one thing I'll strictly admit right there. I don't know my trees. I mean, I know my oaks and my maples. But I don't know all the wood and stuff.
Originally they were supposed to grow in oak.
In oak. And because it's a harder wood. And I think because it'll hold up longer. Because the nutrients they get is from the wood. So I think they will probably eat this wood up faster. So they probably don't. You have to re-inoculate and replace.
Because I thought maybe the wood itself would be here like forever. You just re-inoculate
it starts to break down, and you just would take more logs and inoculate them. You're supposed to get anywhere from 4 to 5 years of production out of these.
Out of one log. Interesting. So that would never have crossed my mind had you not mentioned
I know, isn't that interesting? There's so many different things. It's like any perennial crop, like when you plant an apple tree, you get so many years of production. Usually a lot longer, but there's certain, like farmers will take them down after a few years because they don't produce as well. But boy, these got mushrooms all over the place now.
Here's Mushroom City.
Yeah, and we got little chipmunks that have been having fun with them. We're going to have healthy chipmunks.
And
so
what about
these
the
are
birds?
amazing.
Do the birds come and eat them too? Or just
no, mostly the chipmunks would be down here. Birds tend to go after more of the berries. They look for color. They're pretty wise with that. You have strawberries at the beginning of the season. If you don't put something out, those birds will have every single strawberry you have.
I'm surprised the chipmunks haven't wiped you out.
There's a lot of berries and there's a lot of...
So where they have other food right now.
a lot of acorns.
They're busy with the nuts.
And black walnuts.
Okay.
The black walnuts are super heavy this year, which are a complete pain because you roll over them every step you take when you're in an area.
But that's a sign of a bad winter coming.
I know. Bite your tongue, sir. At least thank you for smiling when you say that. But yeah, I'm sure we're going to have a bad winter because with everything that's gone on this spring, I can't imagine. Spring and summer have been strange. So,
do you do anything?
But it would be nice if it was strange. If it was a strange spring, if that means it's a strange winter and we don't get snow and stuff.
Oh, they're predicting heavy lake effect.
I don't like that prediction. I like mine better.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't you think we should go with that?
Use the mushroom as an umbrella.
We need to get a little bit bigger. I'm not quite that little. You guys pick one off of there once. You just go to the bottom of this stem. I want you to feel how they're really on there. It's like roots.
Oh, yeah.
See, you just pull.
Interesting.
It's really, you can tell that it's really come through the wood.
It's in there. Wow.
That's why I wanted you to experience how it's definitely really come through the wood. But look how perfect they are. I'm so excited over that.
Yeah.
They're really beautiful.
Nice and clean.
They're gonna make good hors d'oeuvres. You could stuff stuff in there.
Oh, these things are amazing. So.
These are amazing. All right.
Well, good. We got a little look at that. That was a very fortunate timing thing.
But this one
isn't
doesn't have any on there.
No, this is a different wood. That one doesn't have any. Are you up for a little walk down the hill? Or would you like to go to another spot?
What's down there?
There's 2 more piles of logs.
Yeah, you could go look.
You want to go look? Yeah, we have a few
Okay. We'll go take a peek and see if it's different wood types. We had the wind came down with the big poplar beech here, so this is kind of rolly with woods down everywhere. You can tell we had a nasty wind.
Well, the leaves on the floor of the forest are beautiful at this point.
Oh yeah, the leaves in here. I like this forest. It's really pretty. I love woods.
I do too. Of course, a lot of people don't realize because they're driving along and seeing woods from a distance, the leaves along the edge where they're exposed to the sun they turn color before the leaves inside the forest turn
exactly. There's a different change in there. And also the thing you don't also is like everyone's like, okay, you put the mushrooms down here. They should get plenty of moisture. Really, they don't get as much because it's quite an umbrella over it. So I have to come down and hand water at times. Now see, this is the same kind of wood. It has a few mushrooms on it, but not near as many.
No.
So I'm sure the wood has a little bit. Little chipmunks, you can tell chipmunk teeth. See how they're together?
Yeah, it's funny.
So he does kind of like, obviously he likes the shiitakes also.
Or a very, very tiny dwarf.
Yeah.
Well, you know, there are wood fairies down here.
There you go.
You know, that's what I said to my husband. I said, I keep seeing out of the corner of my eye, I think there's fairies down here. And I was looking for mushrooms.
Yeah.
And so I was looking for wild mushrooms. And then I said, uh-oh, there's a fairy circle. There really are fairies down here. Because a fairy circle is what they call when the mushrooms are in a circle. I was like, well, see, I wasn't totally out of it.
No.
There really are fairies down here.
Maybe those are fairies that put them that place so they have a place
there
to
you go.
But they were growing a different kind of mushroom. Okay?
No, we don't want to go there. I have a hard enough time keeping my mind straight. And then we got them up on these guys. So they just go differently on all the logs.
So you're finding out which wood they grow best on and which environment.
And it seems to cycle. Like one set of logs will produce at a different time than the other set, which is, I guess, in a sense good because then you're not having to pick, all the time, and there's different stages.
Interesting.
But it's very exciting to get these like this.
It is.
It's perfect looking.
Exciting for us to have the opportunity to see you get them.
Yeah, and it's not something, this is definitely something that's very different. Not everybody does the mushrooms. Now, I have had like 5 different people stop by who want to do mushrooms, of course. And so then they want all my info.
Right.
Which, I understand some of that, but some of it I like to keep a little under wraps. Because if I tell everybody everything, then I'm not the one that does something different.
That's right.
Like my husband says, don't give away all your secrets.
One of these days you'll write a book, maybe.
Yes. I'll be the ghost and you guys get to write the book.
Well, we'll for sure.
That's definitely not my forte.
You're the gardener.
I'm the girl that likes the dirt much more so than anything else.
We certainly benefit.
Yeah, I think the passion that you have towards things like this help a lot.
I don't think you can do it properly unless you have the passion.
Exactly.
I think everybody needs to find their passion and move that forward.
And that's kind of difficult at times, but, if you can, then you are fortunate.
Absolutely.